Yo, before I get started with today's Q&A, I just wanted to let you know that you should rest assured that I will continue to be answering questions on this channel. And a lot of you guys saw my Farewell to Yo Elliott video on my other channel, and we're a little upset and worried that I won't be answering questions anymore. Look, this is what I love to do. I get a kick out of this, so I'm not going to stop. Big part of the reason why I decided to end that show, that segment of the other channel, is because, I've thought about this. There are multiple different reasons, but one of them is that I've gotten tired of separating the body from the mind. If you watch a lot of the videos on this channel, I answer your character, how to live psychological questions with go to your body. Shake your body, tap your body, breathe deep, breathe into your balls, all associated with the body. Oftentimes we want to attack the problem that we're having, what we think is happening here, from here. And I often give you advice on how to use your body to get through the circumstances in your life that seem as if they're abstract, and really they're concrete and they're found in your body. On the other channel, I'd often have to answer questions on a very superficial level, and I would often censor myself, not all the time, right? Censor myself from answering these body type questions with what's going on with the character, what's going on with the nervous system, what's going on with the mind. And I've decided I'm no longer doing that. That's a sacrifice of my integrity, where I want to go, what I'm learning. Can't do it anymore. So, Q&As will be done on this channel, and it will be in a very similar fashion to what I've been doing all this time. So if you have body questions, come here. If you have mind questions, come here. Because they're one fucking thing, right? I often say that. Now, interestingly, we got a question about confidence amongst peers. And we've got a friend who was able to resolve that using many of the techniques that I've shared with regard to focusing on your body when you are in social situations that you tend to be uncomfortable with, right? So our friend, he had a difficult time making friends. He had a difficult time talking to girls. When he was in groups, he would often clench down and clam up. And using the advice that I've offered in multiple videos of just breathe deeply, soften the musculature in your face, in your chest, in your stomach and pelvic floor. Speak slowly, be in the moment with people as opposed to thinking about what you want to say. Do you see? Listening. These are all things that you do with your body. You don't think about these things. They're not abstractions. They're activities that you do through your body. And they've supported him, except now the energetic level of the other individual is impeding on his ability to do this. What I mean by that is when he gets around prestigious people, and particularly his professors. This is really the way he describes it. He says, when I'm around my professors at university, and it's time to speak with one of them one-on-one, and so forth, I get the same anxious situation, same anxious feeling that I received prior to learning the techniques that I use now to work with friends. And of course, I could just say, hey dude, same fucking techniques. But the dynamics are different. And the reason why I know they're different is because I've experienced both ends of the spectrum. And it's very fresh in my mind, so I decided to answer this for you today. This weekend I had a big event. Those of you who know, I had the Strength Camp Challenge. People, hundreds of people, dare I say over 1,000 at some point when people were coming and going, showed up at an event, most of which came to meet me. Of course, there were athletes that were there to compete, but at one point there was a line, 30 feet long of people who were there just to meet me. And I've had to come to grips with this also, because it's a little awkward. I talk to people on cameras, but to have actually been able to meet face-to-face people who've been watching my videos and they're coming from all over the world was, it was a brand new experience for me. One thing I noticed is that being in that prestigious position like your professor is, when you come to meet him, and then all the beautiful young people who came to meet me, I say young like I'm fucking old. I'm old at heart. Come to meet me, I recognize that, boy, this guy's nervous. See, so I'm your professor. This is you, except it's Elliott Halson. It's a young man who wants me to sign his thing or, just say hello and say thank you. I recognize right away the body language. I recognize the energetic exchange here. Boy, this young man is really nervous to meet me. I have to take notice. And this is where the maturity level of the professor or the person of prestige, if you will, you know, that's your word, so I'm just going to keep using it. Prestige, how they relate to you, how they perceive the interaction between you. And there are two different ways that they're going to approach this, because I can see how they both could be played out. I'll share how I dealt with the nervousness of the person who came to me. And the reason why I come from this place is because, like I said, it's fresh in my mind. But also, remember that communication is between two, and it's not just about you. Very important point that I like to make throughout this entire video. It's not about you. Either you being on the nervous end or you being on the prestigious end. Never about you. And if we all interacted in such a way that we forgot ourselves, forgot our agenda, forgot our ego, if you will, and focused on what is happening on the other person and approaching them from where they are, the world would be a beautiful, beautiful place. Oh, I mean, that would be the end to wars, right? Because how could I do to another man or to another person, to another civilization, what I wouldn't want to happen to me? Of course, it's far more complex than that. But it's a great place to start, right? Michael Jackson, right? I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Start with the man in the mirror. Always focus on how you're being for that person, what kind of space you're creating for that person, okay? That's my point. Anyway, as I, on this end, recognize the nervousness and the anxiety in the young man who wants to come and shake my hand and say thank you, I open my body to him. And this is, and those of you who showed up this weekend can attest to this. What did Elliot do for the most part when you met him? Hey, give me a hug, give me a hug. Open my heart, open my body, open myself up, show my authenticity and my vulnerability to you. This is the position of love, of passion, of opening, right? It's also the position of Christ on the cross. Interesting, huh? Jesus dies with his heart open, right? Wasn't he the prophet of passion, of love, love thy neighbor? Sacrifice myself for you, right? Even a dog, right? If a dog is going to give himself up to you, what does he do? Right, his arms don't do this, but he turns over. Boom, show my belly. Open up. It means I'm available to you. Recognize the posture of the individual that you're speaking to so that you know, even if you're on the nervous end of under the spectrum, how you can relate to them. Can you relax and see that this person is only here to help me? Or, which is, dare I say, more likely the circumstances, especially when you're dealing with professors, right? You're dealing with very heady people. I'm a body person. I don't know if you figured that out. For me, it's all about paying attention to my body, paying attention to my breathing, paying attention to my body language, and doing so in a way that I can relate to a person with where they are bodily. Now, if you get one of these, right, they're listening to you, you come to them and you get this. Now you realize, okay, this person, again, focus on the person, not on yourself. This person is closed to me. He's closed off. And no matter what you do as the approacher, more than likely, I'll tell you a quick story anyway. More than likely, whatever you do, this person is going to be closed to you. This person is going to be close to you. You can offer him absolutely everything. You could be the best presenter. You could show up and there's no reason for you to be nervous because you're just like, boom, boom, I'm witty, I'm quick-witted, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and God damn it, I'm awesome. And he's still gonna be like, because it's not about you, it's about his closed body, it's about his closed offness to your energy, right? Again, look at the other person, read their body language, know where they are and where you stand in the relationship. Right? And if they're a person of a higher vibratory level for whatever reason, when I say higher vibratory level, it just means that in that interaction, there is a, if you will, an alpha and a beta, or there is a, patriarchy. You know, there's one that's in charge and one's that's not. And in institutions where people have been given names, like you are the president, you're a student, you're a fucking peon, well then people accept those roles. Right? But they're just ideas. They're just roles given based on institutional ideals and so on and so forth. That person doesn't necessarily have to be a better person than you, right? If he's doing this, right, and he's closed off and he's like, has nothing to offer to you, that means energetically he's probably a bit weaker than you. So, of course, this is sort of a ranting video, just giving you ideas and perspectives to consider as you relate to other people, especially those who you recognize that are either above you or below you. I use these terms lightly, but you understand what I mean. Young man was speaking with me at the after party. Mind you, the after party this weekend, I was a little tipsy. And we're having this conversation, and of course he's wanting to gain some perspective for himself in his life. But as we're speaking, and of course I'm reading him and I'm being myself, as we're speaking, I see him, he's like this the whole time. And the kid is very heady, he's very intelligent. He knows what's going on, he's paying attention, he's witty, he's smart. Here. But his body was very closed off. And as I'm trying to get my point across to him and trying to tell him what my agenda actually is, which is I really truly believe that there's the strongest version of each one of us, and it's my objective to help you bring that out. And I'm talking from a loving perspective. He's closed. Now, for whatever reason, he's closed. We all have our own post-traumatic stress disorders. We've all got our own issues that we're dealing with. And being that, I wanted to open him up, and I'm a little aggressive, just the way I am, took my hands and pushed his arms down and said, listen, this is what I want. And I put my hand on his heart. I was like, I don't want to prove anything to you. I don't want to take anything from you. I don't want to convert you. I took his hands off. I want this. I want you to experience this at its fullest. I had my hand on his heart. I want you to feel and move and act and succeed through the passion in your heart for whatever it is that you want to be. He had a Star of David around his neck. And I pointed to that Star of David. I said, are you a Jew? And he said, yes, but I think he may have converted or something like that to it. He had a whole reason why. I started to explain himself, and I said, no, not interested. I don't even want to know the story. What I'm only interested in is you becoming the absolute best Jew that you can be. And that means wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever your position is in life or where you want to go, I just want to support you in that. I really am not interested in the story, really not interested in the journey. I'm interested in you. What makes your heart beat? When it's closed like this, it doesn't beat very much at all. You don't breathe very much at all. When it's open, it doesn't matter what you do, because if you come from a place of love, everything you do will be right. Jew, Muslim, Christian, communist, capitalist, it does not matter to me. If you're coming from a place of love, if you're coming from a place where your heart and your passion is open to the world, you are vulnerable and you're willing to be sacrificed. And when I say sacrificed, I mean give yourself, throw yourself into whatever it is that you're doing. Throw yourself at the mercy of those who you serve. You will do well. You will do good things for the world. Of course, this conversation went off in many different directions, but the point here is this. If you're either the prestigious individual or you're the lowly student, recognize the body language first in yourself. Recognize your body. Are you breathing? Because this is what, you gained this. I taught you this before. Are you breathing? Are you relaxed? Can you feel your feet? Right? That's a good one. That's a really important one. Can you feel your feet? Are your shoulders relaxed? Are you breathing? Cool. Now, are you, all the things that I talked about, your muscular system. Are you relaxed? Are you in the moment? From that place, you're grounded and you have a perspective. You're coming from a place where you can gain stronger perspective on the other person and where they're at. Now read that person. Boy, all his energy looks very high, or he looks very low. Whatever the case may be, he looks very closed. He looks very open. and then know what's going on, be aware of the circumstances, and relate to the person in a way that allows the communication to run smoothly. And if you're audacious enough and they're closed, work to open them up.